So I watched the Hawk Tuah Girl podcast, aka the Talk Tuah, and I have to complain. Hello everyone, it's Mr. Troll delivering an update, and I kind of apologize for not uploading anything for several days, but not really. There's just no good stuff to talk about right now. Every other commentary channel is still stuck talking about Logan Paul this, Logan Paul that, KSI this, KSI that, Mr. Beast this, Mr. Beast that. I already made the video on that and I don't plan on talking about that again because I believe everyone knows what's going on with those guys at this point. So instead, I want to talk about something different. You see, a bunch of other YouTubers have recently reacted to the new Hawk Tuah Girl podcast, and I was like, it can't be that bad. And then I looked into it. It was bad. It was really bad. Now you probably know who the Hawk Tuah Girl is and you know the lore behind her, but Mr. Troll has to explain this in his own words so that you get a good understanding of what Mr. Troll is about to say regarding the podcast. So she basically got famous from this one clip where someone street interviewed her.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh, you gotta give him that Hawk Tuah and spit on that thing, you get me?
I don't get you. I think you gotta demonstrate.
Hawk Tuah, spit
No,
on
like-
it, spit on it!
So she basically revealed the bedroom trick, and I guess a bunch of people saw this and thought, damn, this girl seems good in the bedroom, I gotta sleep with her. And so were born the simps, who would give her a ton of desperate attention so that they all could sleep with her, which is like, come on, that's never gonna happen. But nonetheless, it is what gained her the attention she has. And because of all this attention, she started working with agencies, doing interviews and all that. And eventually, she started her own podcast, known as the Talk Tuah podcast. Wow, what a funny pun right there. However, the podcast is, well, the best way to illustrate my point is to show you this YouTuber react to it in the video titled Watching Talk Tuah Until I Laugh. All credits to him.
I wasn't going to make this video. I don't want to make this video, but I feel like I have to. If the same thing happens to me when I was watching Sniper Wolf, I'm not going to be happy. This is Talk Tuah. Today I'm going to be reacting to Talk Tuah. Let's do this.
Come on, Haley, it's not that bad. All right, it's time to get out of the bed and quit rotting. Haley, get up.
All right, I'm ready to talk. So I wanted to start my podcast out here in Belfast, Tennessee, where I was born at and where I've been ever since until a few weeks ago and everything changed. No, really, I even learned that you can't bring a box cutter on a plane. So we'll be talking about all...
Yeah, it really reminds me of that Gumball episode where Molly was telling stories to everyone, and you expected there to be a punchline to those stories, but there never was one.
So I got this uncle, and he's a huge practical joker. And last time I saw him, guess what he did? He made me a sandwich. There was this one Christmas where I did wake up till like 7 a.m. and had pizza and might.
And yet people in 2024 consider this to be a cinematic masterpiece. Pardon me, but what do you mean by cinematic? This is a podcast on YouTube. It has never made it on the big screen. And there are a lot of people who absolutely love the Hawk Tuah Girl and this podcast. I guess a lot of people think she is some kind of inspiration. They think, well, if she got famous from just one clip, then so can I. Well, sorry to break it to you, but you don't have that privilege. Do you want to know some other people who became famous simply for existing? Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton, Snooki, Livy Dunn and Brecky Hill. At least the two last ones are gymnasts, so they do something with their life. But even then, they are not famous because they are gymnasts. They are famous because they exist. Now, do you see anything those people have in common? That's right, it's pretty women with amazing bodies. Therefore, they have a whole bunch of simps who gives them all that attention and thus fame. If you are a man or a below average looking woman, which is the majority of the world population, you unfortunately cannot become famous this way. Instead, you have to do the grind in order to even have a chance to become famous. And someone who is on the grind at the moment is my alter ego who talks about self-improvement. If you want to grow together with him, then consider subscribing. His channel should be in the description. And yes, maybe I am doing all this rant simply because I'm jealous, but I think everyone is. And those who aren't are really just living in denial. Sorry, but you will never get the same amount of simps that all those women have. And besides, the amount of simping is really sad. You see so many people be like, oh, she is such a sweet girl, she united the country. Bro, she's not that special. I mean, I don't mean any hate. I think she is fine. But so are many other girls. I don't really think she is special. And this is because I am not a simp. Oh, her southern accent is so cute. Bro, you can find millions of girls with the same accent in Tennessee. Now, I will admit, the short clip that made her famous was special. Like, she probably is really good in the bedroom, or at least that's the impression you get from that clip, which is why that clip got viral. Unfortunately, that was literally the peak performance of her, and her podcast is nowhere near as iconic. It feels like when you see a funny clip of a recent Family Guy episode, and so you get curious enough to watch the whole episode, only to find out that the clip you saw was the only funny part in that whole episode. I feel like people watch the podcast only because it stars the girl that made an iconic bedroom joke, when she was drunk, mind you. So perhaps the Hawk Tuah is the most entertaining character when under the influence, but otherwise she's probably the most boring person ever, but that's just my speculation. And now you're probably like, you're just jealous, this podcast is a masterpiece. Well, allow me to show you some of this.
Stop shaving your vagina hair.
Don't stop shaving your vagina hair. I don't know where the fuck Whitney's going with this. Don't stop.
No, I
We're gonna grow it out and put beads in it.
This is the kind of humor you would expect from Amy Schumer, but it gets worse.
The sweat does have to come out somewhere, and it usually comes out in your...
And your poochie banana? What the f?
I'm sorry, but is there some inside joke here that I'm not seeing?
Hawk Tuah.
There you go.
You gotta put like an emphasis on it, like tuh. You know, like really. Yeah. Say it. All right, all together.
Hawk Tuah.
Hawk tuh.
Hawk Tuah.
Say it aggressive, like
Hawk
really.
Tuah.
Yeah, this is plaguing the whole world right now. Not only in America, but even in my home place called Scandinavia. There are children running around screaming, Hawk Tuah! Hawk Tuah! We went from preschoolers screaming, Skibidi toilet, to screaming, Hawk Tuah! Okay, I get that a bunch of people will get offended if I say women are not funny. Therefore, can we please have funny women? Because if you get offended and you think it's sexist to say women are not funny, then can you please be a funny woman yourself? Because it really doesn't do the gender equality justice when the only funny woman I can think of is Joan Rivers, and every other female comedian is Amy Schumer, Lily Singh, and her.
What? No! Women aren't funny.
Okay, I got it. Sorry for trying to be a social justice warrior right there.